Okay, today I'm going to show you how to assemble your robotic arm. For this, we're going to be using all the pieces that you've cut out this far, the wooden pieces and your styrofoam pieces. You'll be using a hot glue gun, so make sure you know what you're doing when you're using your hot glue gun so you don't burn yourself. Okay, to start, one, you want to make sure that your hot glue gun is plugged in. Now, it will still take a few minutes for it to get hot, so just because you plug it in, it's not going to instantly start melting glue. Give it a couple minutes. The other thing you want to do while it's heating up is get a piece of paper towel and then put the glue gun on top of that. The reason we want to do that is because eventually, after this glue gun's been plugged in long enough, the glue will start to come out of the tip. And to prevent more glue from getting on the tables, make sure we have a piece of paper towel underneath. Now for this first step, what you're going to need is your number 11s. Okay, and you're going to need 4 of them in total. And you're going to need is this jig. Okay, basically this is going to help us put together or start to assemble our project. With this, we're going to take our number 11s and place them just like that. So we kind of get a perfect right angle. Now, as you can see, I didn't cut that number 11 perfectly straight, but that's okay. That's why we're using this jig to make sure that we do get a perfect 90-degree angle. Now once that's in place, what we're going to do is we're going to take the hot glue gun and we're going to put a little bit of glue, about that size. What I like to do is kind of take the tip of the hot glue gun and drag it across, that way you don't get this long string of hot glue. Take the other piece and then press down. Give it about a 5 count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you can remove it. Now some glue might start to seep out a little bit. That's okay. Now this will still be warm. Not as if you'll burn your fingers by touching here, but you might be able to feel the heat. It's still movable, so try just to leave it just like that. Now we need to make 2 of those, so we'll do the same thing. Again. And same thing, give it a 5 count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull them out. There you go. Now that's step 1, is making these 2 L's. Next, we want to take our styrofoam forearm, part number 5. As you can see, we have the number 5 right here, and our number 11s, and we're going to attach them to our styrofoam piece, just like this. Now, we kind of need to eyeball it and kind of get things centered. Now, we don't want to have it sticking way up here, and we don't want to have it way down here. It's kind of a rough guesstimate of where you want to put it. So you want it right about there. So we kind of have this little rectangle square opening right there. This hole that we've got here is maybe a little bit below center. Maybe we can put it like right about in the center. If there's a all the way circle right there, that should be pretty close to the center. That's kind of what we're looking for there. So what you want to do, take 2 of your sticks, these wooden dowel pieces. They should have been sanded. They slide in very easily. And we take our other number 11s, because the whole thing is that you got to make sure everything lines up. So it's easier to assemble it like this, and we know everything will fit, versus gluing one piece on here and then the other piece gets glued on over here, and then our holes aren't even close to lining up. As you can see, they are not going to line up. Okay, if we have that, then we're definitely going to have to take it apart. So it's best if you take the wood pieces, our wooden dowels, and kind of pre-assemble all our parts here. Just like that. Now, once you get those in place, what you want to do is take your hot glue gun, and especially after this has been plugged in for a while, now even though it says low temp, it still gets hot enough where it could melt the styrofoam. So what you want to do is put the hot glue on the wood. And you actually kind of want to use a fair amount. And while that glue is still hot and liquidy, we can move it around a little bit. I would say that's probably pretty good right about there. Okay, what I want to do is let this cool off where this doesn't move around, and then I'm going to flip it on the other side, put hot glue right in there, and then I'll close it together. But I want to let this cool off first. So now the hot glue is cooled. It doesn't really move around that much, or at all. I mean, I could still pull it off, but I don't want to do that. But it's on there. I'd say it's pretty stable. Now I want to do the same thing on this side. Not saying you have to go through a whole stick of hot glue, but don't be afraid to put some on there. So now I will slide these down. Make sure I'm getting full contact and try to adjust as need be so everything stays lined up. And it should stay pretty close, being that we have our pins in place. Now obviously this glue is still going to be hot, so try not to touch it if at all possible. You can see a little crooked, but it will still work.